Hi everyone, this is DeFi Dad. Today I want to show you a trick I use for saving money on transaction fees. So when I'm trading using a DEX on Ethereum, I'm obviously challenged by the price of gas. And so if you've never looked into this, this is a tool that I actually use in the background of most of my videos. And when I'm putting through a transaction on Ethereum, I'm always checking this thing right before I send it, because this tells me what is the cheapest gas prices that I could put into my transaction in order to push it through in X amount of time. So you'll notice that, you know, less than 2 minutes would be 57 gwei, less than 5 minutes is 57 gwei, and less than 30 minutes is 48 gwei. So in this example, if I was putting through a transaction right now, I would hit refresh right before I'm hitting confirm, double check the numbers. So this one just rose a bit, and I would put the number probably somewhere in the middle between these two. And again, these numbers can change quickly. They can go up very quickly. So I would probably put my gas price in my MetaMask transaction at, like, let's say 53 gwei. 1inch is a DEX aggregator. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It aggregates liquidity from DEXs or liquidity pools where you can trade Ethereum-based assets. So these are all liquidity pools that this 1inch is pulling from, and it's doing a service of finding me the best rate and the least amount of slippage. And so that already is very, very valuable for me, just because I don't have to go searching across all of these and looking at the same trade to see where I can get the best rate. This is essentially like Expedia for trading on Ethereum with DEXs. The other really clever thing, though, is the fact that they use this Chi token. So this is a better version of what is the original gas token. And most folks don't know about this, but all you really need to know, unless you want to really dig into this and read about it, is that it takes advantage of the Ethereum storage refund. And a gas token itself facilitates transactions with the same amount of work but less gas. So when we use a gas token, or when we use this newer Chi token, it helps to save in terms of the cost of transaction fees. And what's actually happening here in the background is to encourage smart contracts to erase unnecessary storage, Ethereum provides a refund for each zeroed element. I won't go any further than that. Again, if you want to read about it and dig into it, go right ahead. I find it a little bit confusing, but all I know is that by using this little trick, my transaction fees tend to be half the cost of what they would be otherwise. And I've kind of played around with this with different wallets to see what the difference is. And that's how huge of a difference it is saving on at least 50%. So I'm going to show you how I use 1inch and take advantage of the Chi token to save on gas. And then there's one more trick I'll show you in a moment. So let's go ahead and enable this. One thing I'm going to do here that I never ever do is I'm going to enable unlimited permission with the Chi token, because normally when I do a transaction on Ethereum, you'll see me do something like this. I'll click edit to go check the gas price. I see it's 57 gwei. I'm going to go ahead and check this one more time to see what are the gas prices. So cool. All right. I might put it at like 55 just because they've been continually rising. Okay, so let's go back again and change that to 55 gwei. So currently I'm going to pay about $1.03 in gas, and I'm going to change it now to 55. Okay, so it dropped by a few cents. Sometimes it can be a bigger difference. Next up, I'm going to view full transaction details. So what I'm doing differently here is that I'm enabling unlimited permission. And that is because I know that I do not intend to hold the Chi token or mint it, which is something else you can do. I'm simply intending to use it to save on gas when I'm using 1inch Exchange. So I'm going to leave it at unlimited. And this just means that in the future, I don't have to I don't have to enable the Chi token again every time I revisit the website, which obviously would cost me a dollar in gas every single time. And that's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. All right, so I'm all ready to go. I've reduced my gas costs and I've given unlimited permission so that I can use this Chi token to save on transactions in the future. The next trick I'm going to show you is me again taking advantage of this unlimited permission. I normally allow a custom spend limit. And so I don't want any DeFi applications having unlimited permission to move any of my tokens. However, times are a little bit desperate right now, and there are certain tokens that maybe I know that I'm going to be selling that later or that I'm going to trade it later. So I'm going to use the example here. I'm going to take profits on some of the Wi-Fi token that I farmed. And so I'm going to use the infinity unlock. So notice the difference here is on the left, it was to unlock and allow for me to spend about 0.17 Wi-Fi. But in this case, I'm actually going to give unlimited spending just because I think there's a chance I might need to do some swaps later with Wi-Fi. So you can see here, it's unlimited. All right. And again, I don't normally advise this, but this is going to save me time and money having to go back and re-enable permission to move my tokens. So I'm going to go back per usual. Let's check the gas price and let's see the gas price currently on ETHGasStation.info. It's still the same. So I'll put it at like 55 and that'll punch it through. All right, saving a little bit of gas money. I've given unlimited permission. We're all set to go. Okay, so this is the final step for me to execute the trade on 1inch. So I've chosen the token I'm starting with, that I'm selling, and then I'm going to be buying ETH. And so you'll notice below that the best liquidity or the best rate, the least amount of slippage is going to draw from Uniswap V2. The Chi token is activated, so I'm going to save money on my gas and I'm ready to swap. All right, so this all looks good. $6.44. Let's see if this is the estimate that actually goes through, or let's see if I end up saving on that because of the Chi token. So hit verify. So it's estimating, MetaMask is estimating that I'm going to spend $11.35. It looks like 1inch was actually accounting for the Chi token, so it was around $6. And let's see how it shakes out. All right, so while I'm waiting, I can go ahead and click the EtherScan transaction. Okay, so again, here's my maximum cost. Let's see what the final transaction, once it confirms on the blockchain, how much gas I actually spent. Okay, so my transaction went through. So let's check this out. I've got, I started out with the Wi-Fi token, the governance token that I had been farming. And then I have swapped it for Ether. So I've got 1.273 Ether. And then I believe this represents the fact that the Chi token gets destroyed. Not totally sure on that. Please correct me if anyone else reads up more on the Chi gas token, but check this out. I spent $6.54. So that was a transaction that was starting with an asset worth about $350, and I sold that into Ether. And so $6.54 is 1.86%. So I paid 1.86% in terms of my transaction costs. Hey, I'd love to get the price down further. You know, I'd love to save more money on gas, but I'd argue that this is probably the most effective way right now for me to overcome all of these high gas prices. Before we go, I want to remind you of one of the risks I'm taking with this unlimited spend limit permission. So earlier I showed you that there were two buttons here, and one of them said infinity unlock, and the other one was unlock. It was like 0.17 Wi-Fi. It's just whatever the amount is here, it'll say unlock that amount. And again, that has to do with giving permission to the DeFi application to spend those specific tokens in that specific quantity from my MetaMask. However, because I am anticipating that I might do more trades with Wi-Fi in the near future, I am giving infinity permission or unlimited spend limit permission to spend any of my Wi-Fi tokens. And again, the reason I want to call this out is it's a risk if somehow these smart contracts or the code that runs 1inch.Exchange, if somehow someone got control of that, they would have the ability to drain my wallet of whatever Wi-Fi was there. So that spend limit is specific to whatever token. You would have to go through your wallet and give unlimited spend limit permission to each and every token, and that each and every one of those puts you at risk. However, again, I am thinking about how high gas prices are, and I'm just not interested in spending $1 or $2 in gas every time I come back to 1inch.Exchange over the next few days, or let's pretend the next few weeks if I know I'm going to be using that token. But I am accepting quite a bit of risk in doing that, even though I think a lot of people remain ignorant to this unlimited spend limit. Now, just because I gave 1inch.Exchange an unlimited spend limit permission with my Wi-Fi tokens doesn't mean I can't take it back. If you go to this website, it stands for Token Allowance Checker. Click on Check Allowances. I'll connect my MetaMask. And then what it's checking here is all of the different spend limits that I've given. So let's see here, include zero allowances. I'm going to go ahead and not include those. I just want to focus on anything that is over zero. Here's what you saw me do earlier. I gave unlimited permission for the ETHGas token by 1inch. Great. That was my intention. I'm never intending to hold the ETHGas token. It is strictly there for me to save money on gas when I use 1inch.Exchange. It's an innovation that they came up with. So this is one exception to the rule that I'm just not concerned about. Let's see. Here's another one. I have an LP position in the curve pool with REN BTC, Wrapped BTC, and SBTC. I gave unlimited permission for that. Here, I could click the edit allowance and I could set this to 0 and then hit set allowance. And if I do that, it'll just run me through a single transaction. It normally used to cost just a few cents, but I'd say with gas prices, it's probably somewhere under $1. Let's see if we can find the 1inch.Exchange. There it is. Okay. So the wirearn.finance for the Wi-Fi token, and I gave unlimited permission, and that was, yeah, today, Thursday, July 23rd. So I could come back to this. Let's say later on, I just decide, hey, I'm going to hold on to the other Wi-Fi tokens that I have. I'll keep those, and I want to make sure that 1inch.Exchange cannot move my tokens. I would set this to 0 and then hit set allowance. And that's it. I can go through the same steps as always, where I check what is the gas price to limit the amount of gas that I'm spending. And then you'll notice, even though I've already done it in the interface here, you'll notice that I can still edit permission once again here. So it's been set to 0. That's the importance and the meaning of all of these little details that I think most of us have skipped over when we're new to all this DeFi stuff. All right, so that's all I've got for you today. I hope you find this helpful. I will link to the ETHGasStation.info. I will link to the Medium article about the ETHGas token. And I'll also link to 1inch.Exchange, which is the DEX aggregator that I used. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the YouTube video. Also, you can comment on Twitter if you've got any questions there.